What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
Fuego here.
And we are here to review the very recently released straight VOD and DVD / Blu-ray
Soon to be Adult Swim and Sci-Fi
movie.
Seriously.
The Banana Splits movie. And
Tra la la
la la la la
What the hell is this
la la
movie?
la. And let me say, Fuego, this movie, we did a trailer reaction, and I thought it looked
It trended
stupid.
really well, too.
It did a great job
Which is
for
why
us,
we're
but
reviewing this.
I thought it looked super stupid, super cheesy. I mean, it was just a wannabe Five Nights at Freddy's. Some people told us that it was the rejected Five Nights at Freddy's script that Scott Cawthon didn't want to do. They denied that. But, you know, that's the theory out there. And let me just say, I watched it, and it is exactly as stupid and uneventful as I thought it was going to be. I will say that, yes, it was way gorier than I thought it was going to be, and that wasn't too bad, but I have literally nothing else to say and no more time to waste on this. So, Fuego, enjoy, buddy. Here, let me put you center stage, and you get to do this one all on your own. Okay, bye, guys. Enjoy.
That's what happens when you're second in command, I guess. Anyway, yeah, so Banana Splits, everybody. Not that deleted or, you know, just canceled Five Nights at Freddy's, although there's lots of speculation that was. They vehemently denied that. Overall impressions from me, once again, it brought the kills in a nastier fashion than I was anticipating, just like Cecil said, but the sub-stories from all of these characters are so unbelievably awful, poorly acted, poorly written, and it tries to actually be a dramatic movie, which I was just like, what? Why are they doing this? If they kept it campy and silly and stupid and had more of, I don't know, maybe like a Cooties type vibe or some just like very, very stupid and silly and not trying to take itself very seriously at all, just approach, that would have probably served its purpose a whole lot better, because there are scenes that are supposed to make you sad in this. When certain characters die, when there's drama amongst others, it's supposed to really kind of get you. It doesn't, because of how tropey and terrible it is. So, yeah, that's my overall impressions, but there are a couple cool kills, and that's one of the only surprise satisfy aspects to this. Story, as we always like to cover. So, apparently, for whatever reason, I don't know how, but this young boy, his favorite show is The Banana Splits. I had no idea they were doing a new version of The Banana Splits. I thought that was just in the late 60s and the early 70s, but I guess in this weird alternate reality of whateverness, the Banana Splits are still a thing, and people still love them all these years later, as you find out from these other characters, because the film basically spins the whole thing that, yeah, they have not, I mean, they're still going all these years later. Like, the show never stopped a broadcast. It just kept going in syndication, whatever. Obviously not in truth, but that's the vibe that they're going for, and that's the angle that they're pursuing here. So, yeah, young kid, like 10, 12 years old. His parents, his mother and then presumably stepfather, they take him along with his older sibling to the Banana Splits taping that is going down live, and when they're waiting in line, we meet a couple other just silly super fans that are there. There is one couple with this kind of cutie Asian girl and her boyfriend, who is a super Banana Splits fan, and he's very over the top. He seems like he's acting. It's supposed to seem, you know, genuine, and like he's obsessed since he was a little kid, but it's just like these people do not seem like they would be the type to watch this sort of show. So we get them, and we also get this father who has this daughter of his who's maybe like 13, you know, and he's trying to groom her to be something in Hollywood. And so, you know, he's like, have your dance sequence ready if we see any producers, honey, and blah blah blah, you know, just be all set for it. So you've got them, and you have, you know, the other family that I mentioned, and really, so aside from them and one of our girls who is like kind of a handler / host, you know, she goes out with her assistant. She's a page, as they all do. There's many really bad puns and jokes about that aspect, but so she gives the intros when they're all waiting in line. She's the one who introduces the show before the live taping starts. She's the one who gets them backstage to, you know, meet the Banana Splits when the family is not drawn to do it. She's got a little love interest thing with the older brother, which is just cheesy and terrible. But really, what this all boils down to is the fact that the banana splits are going to start killing people, right? Because it's an R-rated movie, and you would think, oh, they're just all, just guys in suits. And I think there's even a inappropriate description on, it's either the IMDb or somewhere online, because when I Google searched it right before we did this review, it was like a crazed maniac in a dog outfit is going around killing people on a TV show set. That's not technically true, because as you see in the trailer, these are robots. That's right, the distant future, the year 2000. You've got just automated, and this is where people are obviously making the Five Nights at Freddy's comparison, is because these are like misprogrammed killer animal robots that something happens, which I won't divulge, but after all of their years of servitude and being all nice and whatnot, they have something that happens with the show about to be canceled. There's a TV exec there who was trying to cancel it. There was also a human character who is like super drunk, druggy, whatever. He plays a part in it. And so really at the end of the day, a lot of these people are there to be cannon fodder. So we have people to kill. And boy, there's a scene in the third act where you're like, oh wow, there was a lot more killing going down than we even realized. So that was just the film in its writing as our last few people band together after the show is done filming and they go backstage to meet the splits, and that's where the killing starts occurring. That's where the film does get a little more interesting, and it's not the worst thing I've seen this year. I just crossed 100 films watched this year, just new films in 2019. New movies in 2019. I've watched over 100 movies now. And this is not the worst movie I've seen this year, but it is definitely not even in the upper 50. It's reliance on the stupid drama between, children and their parents, the stoner teenager who's trying to hit on the exec girl, and his negative just tension with the stepfather, and the fact that the stepfather turns out to be just, kind of slimy as well, and just all of those tropes, and then the douchey father trying to meet the president of the network to have his daughter audition. So there's all these dumb little subplots that are all going on, and yet none of them are as compelling as once these stupid robots actually start killing people, because they kill them in a fashion throughout that is worthy of its R rating. We have people sawed in half. We have people that are on spinny, wheel, carnival type wheel things with all their appendages torn off. We have, just all kinds of nasty things going down in this, and not every kill is as memorable. There's others that are run down by, the little cars you used to see them speeding around in back on the Hanna-Barbera show. But really, I mean, yeah, that's where the film shines and becomes interesting, is where it actually turns into a horror movie, as opposed to being all the stupid things that it does the rest of the time. So that's about all that I will divulge for that. As far as acting goes, acting is shit in this movie. The acting is absolute shit. And there's really not much else to say. I'll pull a Cecil in that regard. There was not one good performance, really, in my estimation, from anybody on this. This is the old school Sci-Fi Channel sort of acting that I was expecting from this movie and dreading was going to be the case, because Sci-Fi has upped their game in certain aspects. This is it's been released on VOD and on DVD and Blu-ray already. It's also going to be premiering on the Sci-Fi Channel later this month in September, and then I think it's also going to be broadcasting on Adult Swim for whatever reason, like a weird co-broadcast sort of thing. I don't know if they're showing old reruns of the Banana Splits on Adult Swim or something. It would kind of make sense to a degree, but yeah. So in any event, yeah, the acting is really, really bad. I guess the young kid is the younger brother who's obsessed with the Banana Splits. Him and this little girl who he doesn't really know very well, but she is sent along by her parents to be his friend and his birthday plus one, I guess. And so I guess the two of them aren't that bad, and the older brother, while he's not very good, he's not as bad as the parents and the stepfather, and the overacting of the head of the network who's coming in to cancel the show, and the only human cast member. I mean, there is some really, really bad stuff there. So let's move on now, as opposed to me beating a red-headed dead horse, to the digital. Well, there is some digital, just a really, really little bit, but the digital and the practical effects specifically. The gore when it happens, once again, you see, I mean, when person is sawed in half at one particular point, there's like large intestine and all kinds of nasty things falling all over the place. It was really reminding me of the scene in Leprechaun 3 where the guy gets sawed in half by the leprechaun on stage, but in a brightly lit, more wacky spot. Set design really is nothing that's gonna wow you, but it at least doesn't feel as low budge as some of these other like fake TV shows that I've seen before. I mean, it's no Death to Smoochie or anything, but nonetheless, it's competently assembled, and it looks like a real place where a TV show would be filmed. But I mean, yeah, nothing musically to just wow yourself and be supremely excited about. Honestly, at the end of the day, I was watching this and I was thinking of other weird movies with like furries and costume people and stuff like that, like Meet the Feebles, that I would much prefer watching to this Five Nights at Freddy's film. Although they do leave it wide open for another one. If this has any sort of success as far as viewership goes, as far as, VOD buys, whatever, there's a weird bit where a character starts putting on kind of half of the costume of one of these characters, because they were trying to basically design a female, version of the Banana Splits, and she was going to join the cast, so they'd have a girl on there, and the armor, suit, whatever the hell you want to describe it as, almost possesses this girl, and she kills a character, and she plays a heavy part in the very end in the post-credits, and it leaves it wide open for something completely different to happen. There's also there's a furry fight at one particular point, because there is one where there's a glitch in the programming and it's not trying to kill and it's trying to protect one character, and I mean, man, this movie was something else. It really, really, truly was. I'm curious if anybody found more redeeming qualities than I did, because I did find redeeming qualities in this. It's not, as I said, the worst film that I've seen this year, but boy, I don't know. It's really not very good. But I feel like some may be a little bit more forgiving than myself and Cecil, obviously, with him just storming out on this thing, probably would have been. So, I've been Jaime and Fuego, and I extend the grande gracias from the entire Horror Show team, Cecil and myself. Also, thanks to our patrons who may be checking out this video on the regular YouTube channel. If you would like to be a patron, we have a few different tiers, lots of cool options where you can suggest things for us to review, get more involved in the process, or if you want to really shell out and show some support, you can get the Boogie Box, which is where we send out something cool on the monthly basis that has just a large cool assembly of the different things that we receive from studios and from fans, and just various bits of cool trinkets and things to watch and wear and all kinds of coolness like that. So I've been Fuego, y'all have been awesome, and I guess that's going to be the end of it, everybody. So until more of this spooktacular coverage comes at you, remember to stay scared.